Thank you for pointing that out because that's going to prove my point. Women are observing something called sexual currency. Okay. Now, sexual currency does not translate into relational currency. Do you understand? So if I click on something or double like something, right? If I see big Nayash upon my screen on Instagram, I mean, I don't double tap that, but if I double tap it, yes, I like what I saw. Is that what I'm attracted to personally in terms of relationally? Completely different. This is why BBLs are moving mad. And I'll be honest with you. Me, I don't mind talking about it because I'm tired of seeing it. BBLs are moving mad because people assume sexual currency relates to relational currency. The two are completely different. I may want to have sex with you, but that doesn't mean I want to relate. I want to relate to you and be in a relationship with you. And oftentimes, women observe what men say and do and get excited by, but that's not who we're actually dating. And it's completely different. I'm not saying that, chest and bum is not going to get people to be in a relationship with, but what I'm saying is it doesn't directly correlate. Do you understand? Because again, that what that does, it boxes men into a small box, saying that we're very narrow minded. All we care about is your physique. When the reality is, beyond the physique, we're trying to find out what kind of person you actually are. Do you have essential qualities that we actually like? Do you know what I'm saying? Are we going to get on? We talk about peace all the time. All these other things are really important. And so it's really interesting when men say we like women natural. And I'm not saying all men say this because a lot of men do like makeup. A lot of men like that other stuff. But when we say it, you challenge us on those things. And what usually does come up is, but that's not what you like on Instagram. Baby, if I pull up what you like on Instagram, is that what you're dating? You will like fantasy things too. Go for
Did
it.
you
I'm
want
not
me to
gonna.
respond, or were you waiting
You
for a
can respond.
rebuttal?
I'm done. I'm done. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had these conversations with guys before, um, because normally I am natural. Normally, I don't wear makeup outside of like career related things. But I see men that will say, like, I want a woman that's natural, that has her real hair, that has her real body, her real nails, whatever the case may be. But but when we see what you entertain, it's the opposite of that. And I feel like for a lot of women, they're confused because they're like, well, you said you like this, but what you entertain is this. So which one is it? And I think you guys, Sean, Corey, Kojo, should clarify that, or like open that conversation up for why that is, because it can be confusing to women where you're like, you want a 90s beauty, but Black China is the one that you like in on Instagram. Like it's confusing.
I personally think in this situation, what happens is what you described. I'm gonna set some fires off. Yeah. The reason why it's confusing is because you're not actually looking at what we actually want. You're looking at the options that men get drawn to in terms of physicality. And you're hoping to have the same options those other women who have. You want the same options. But the reality is, it's not all currency that is to do with relational currency. That's why I separated the two. You see, a lot of times when I spend time with women, you start to understand that women are competing against women. They're not competing against me. You're competing against other women. And so sometimes people do stuff because they see other women having an attraction of men coming towards them. But how many of these guys are actually trying to wife her? Listen, right now, if you go into a girl's DMs, you'll see so many sperm in there of men trying to get to the egg. And most of these men just want to sleep with her. A lot of these men are not serious, they're not intentional, they don't care about this girl, they just want to sleep with her. That is not the kind of attention you actually want. That's why I'm making a distinction between the two. And what happens is women look at the attention as a whole, as one whole thing, instead of dividing it up and saying, actually, what attention is this person actually getting that's actually real and actually wants intentional relations with that person? And what attention is it the person just wants to have sex? Or this person just wants to steal your energy? That's the big difference. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times someone said attention, not intention. Yes, your hand. You know what I mean? A lot of times that's what gets misread. So when you're seeing other women like, oh, men are saying that they like natural, but we see what you go to. Yeah, you see us trying to have sex with that woman down the road. You do see that. A lot of them. So if that's what you want, then by all means, follow that same route. But if the reality is that you want intention, that's not where actually men who are, and I'm not saying this about makeup or anything, I'm saying in general as a principle. When you want to look at actual intentions, is that what they're actually going for? That's what you need to start. That's what I think with ladies. That's why I said ladies need to. You actually need to talk to us to actually understand what we're actually doing, and you'll realize we can separate the two. What we're trying to have sex with ain't usually what we're trying to marry. That's where the issue comes from. But I'll let the other men join in so they can actually give you a different perspective, because they might disagree with what I'm saying and my sentiment, and I'll be happy to have that conversation. Corey, Sean, David, one of you guys who want to jump in, you can just open your mic and go.
So I think the disconnect sometimes comes whereby women feel like when we say natural, we mean like there's no form of attraction or no form of, for lack of a better word, touch up. So, in my own opinion, a little bit of powder and lip gloss, to me that's still natural. Though. I mean, that's just my own opinion. So I think that's where sometimes there's a disconnect whereby they kind of feel like, oh, maybe like how all these guys say fresh face out the shower and all this kind of rubbish, because the truth is men still definitely want a little bit of that attraction there. We still want to have that there, so we're not asking you to look like exactly like how we do as a man or what have you. A little bit of touch up is fine, but not just the over the top kind of stuff with all the bat eyelashes and all the. I think that's where guys are like, no, we don't want all that. And to be honest, sometimes some women's wigs actually is just, it's almost a turn off than a turn on in the actual sense. So I think that's part of what guys are talking about. It's not that they're saying, okay, don't do a little bit of touch up or whatever. That's not the kind of natural that we're talking about. And then I think you've already mentioned the other part, the fact that, a guy would look at something and would attract him or spark up his, masculine desires to be sexual. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what he wants to marry and have at home and show to his mom or to his family. So there's a little bit of that involved there, but I think you've already explained that, so I'll just leave it there for the other guys to give their opinion.
Appreciate it, David. Go for it, Sean.
Yeah, I would add, I think there's a couple of things going on here when it comes to this conversation. And I think one of them is just women not, we talked about this before, like, can we tell the truth? Can women handle the truth? I think it's just certain things that we say, you can't accept it, and you got to poke holes in it, and you got to find a way that you discount what we're saying. So look, we say it. I don't know how else